Good morning, everyone. How are you all doing today? I invite you all to take a deep, deep breath. Just get very comfortable right where you are and then let all of that out. And if you take a look at the screen, day 29. What do you really want? Asking ourselves this every morning is a great way to start the day. To ask ourselves, what do I want out of life? What do I really want in this moment? And just taking a deep breath, allowing whatever wants to bubble up to bubble up. So I know that this time is going to be filled with opportunity to know more, to hear more, to be more, to understand more, because I am the more. And each one of us is the more, expanding every single day. So I'm just going to step out of the way and let this day unfold as it always does, perfectly. Take another deep breath. Let it go. And so it is. Right. Day 29. Can you believe it? We are stepping into this next to the last day. How amazing, right? Okay, let's go right to the work. So I asked you to really look at for these last number of days, who am I? Like, who am I? Who am I? And I'm going to say, who am I spiritually in terms of my divine identity? How can I navigate my world, my life, from this understanding of I am greatness on demand? So who am I? 2 days to remember who you are. And you got this. You totally got this. You've got 2 days, today and tomorrow. That's not so hard, is it? But we've had 28 days. Now we're going to have 29 and 30. And that's just the beginning. Trust me, that is just the beginning. So who have you trained your mind to believe that you are? Because that's the deal. You know, you've trained yourself to believe who you are. And more importantly, what roles have you taken on in life? That's a really good question to ask ourselves often. What roles have you taken on? Have you taken on the victim? Have you taken on the heartbroken? Have you taken on the successful? That would be a good one to take on. Just because the universe calls action doesn't mean you have to play along. So one of the things I'm going to ask you to start asking yourself is, what roles have I stepped into? I'll say unknowingly, but there's some part of us that does know. So what roles have you taken on in life that maybe you're no longer interested in taking on? Because you have the right to experience who you truly are and not constantly have to be taking on these roles that really, when you really get down to it, really don't even suit you. So here's a question. What if all our financial troubles, and any other troubles really, were just part of the situations that come from playing the roles you play in life? Maybe you're one of those people that you have to make everybody happy, so you're the peacemaker. And that's exhausting, isn't it, sometimes? Maybe you're somebody who always has to be up so that everybody likes you. You have to always be up and energetic. That's exhausting too when you don't feel that way. So what if everything that goes on in our lives is actually somehow connected to the roles we play? Ernest Holmes said this: infinite mind is the actor, and you are the announcer. Infinite mind is the actor, and you are that which gets to announce any role you choose to play. Anything you decide, you can play, and you can actually even become as far as you think. Infinite mind is the stuff from which all things are made. You can impress upon it any image of thought, and you will get the result, for it is the great actor. Whatever you ask it to do, whatever you ask the law to do, it will do it, no matter what. So the question really becomes, what are you going to ask it to do? What performance are you giving? I love this picture, by the way. This picture always makes me laugh. It's like, what role am I playing? What role am I playing here today? So it's a good question to ask yourself. What performance are you giving? Because you know what? We're all really good actors. We all give great performances. If we want to look like the victim, boy, can we play the victim. And if we want to look like the victor, boy, can we play the victor. So which performance are you giving? What'll it be? Never forget, you are the announcer, as Ernest Holmes says. So how about announcing a different play? If you're the actor, by the way, you're the actor, but you're the director too, and you're the writer. And you're the producer as well. So you could announce a different play. I am tired of being in the play. I have no money. And playing the one that has no money. So announce a different play. That's how quickly we can do this. He says a trained mind gets to announce whatever it chooses to announce. A trained mind, your mind. You are the announcer, the director, and yes, the writer, and also the actor. And I added in there the producer too, the executive producer at that. And you're the money investing in it. You're the investor. So this is a great quote. Don't get hypnotized by the fun roles. One of my best roles, I think my favorite role ever, was to play Paul in Carnival. And Paul was a very angry, depressed, cripple, ex-dancer who had had an accident and could no longer dance and spoke through all of the puppets. And this was a pre-Broadway tryout, and I was so excited. I was finally getting to play this really dark, angry, did I say angry? Person in life. And I loved playing it. It was so much fun to go out there every single night. But I have to tell you the truth. A lot of people that take on big roles like that are really heavy, they kind of can't shake it. And it starts to infiltrate their lives. You know what? That happens to us in our real lives as well, where we get hypnotized by what's going on in the world. So don't get hypnotized by the fun roles. And I say fun roles because I thought of Paul as a fun role. But you know what? I could walk off that stage. I was very in character the whole night from the moment I got to the theater. But when that show came down, I was back to my jolly self, going out bowling, eating with the cast. I never took that role home with me or pretended that I was that role. But unfortunately in life, we do. We pull a role out, we try it on, it fits, and suddenly we're the victim, and we live that role all the time. So, playing him, not being him, is all about me. Really me getting clear. I am not the roles I play. I wasn't Paul. I wasn't Jesus, although I like that role until it turns, it turns pretty ugly in the end. But I am not the roles I play. Any of the roles you play in life, you are not. And this is all dangling from the original question, who am I? Well, you're not the roles you play. You are not the conditions of your life that, in fact, cause you to react in such a way that you decide to play these roles, right? Your life is a brilliant play. Your true, authentic life is a brilliant play. It's like something that O'Neill may have written. Well, no, he's pretty depressing. Some pleasant playwright, right? And it can be slaughtered by actors who are out there feeling and acting the hell out of it, which may mean you. I picked this picture because he looks like he's chewing the scenery, for God's sake. So, you've got this brilliant play to live out, your brilliant play of prosperity, success, love, joy, creativity. That's the play you've been given. But sometimes we can really chew into it and turn a beautiful play into a disaster. It's just by choice. It's all choice. So today is the day that as you continue to ask yourself, who am I? You also start seeing the roles you play in this thing called life. That's what today is all about. Who am I? And what roles am I playing? And more importantly, of course, what roles that I am playing actually do me good? What roles that I am playing are actually serving me, serving my highest and my greatest self? So today, on day 29, I want you to see how many of the roles you play are in line with your true self-worth. How many of these roles that you play are really benefiting you? And this whole idea of being a victim or a perpetrator, really, the victim perpetrator thing is something I always look at in this moment, because am I the perpetrator here, or am I merely living my life from a point of view that there has to be a perpetrator and a victim? And that's same true for victims. Am I really a victim ever, Or am I always complicit in some way in whatever's going on in my life? So today's the day you get to see how many roles are you playing? And you know what? I love this quote. Sometimes you just have to quit the play. Sometimes it just have to be done. I remember when I was doing 42nd Street and I just couldn't do it anymore. I was just like, this is so not me. I want to, and what's interesting, Paul came shortly after that. I was like, I want to play real, like roles of real worth and that really means something to me. And it was tough to actually walk away from such a huge paycheck and an enormous hit. But I knew inside of me what was mine to do. So sometimes you got to quit the play, folks. Sometimes you got to take the costume off and just walk away from all of it. As Albert Einstein said, I must be willing to give up what I am in order to become what I will be. And when I look at that quote, I think to myself, give up what I am, what I have made myself to be, the roles that I have donned in order to live my life as a ... You fill it in. So, are you ready to just give up who you even think you are for a bigger version of yourself, for a more prosperous, a more successful, a more creative, a more joyful version of yourself? So I want to shift gears here for a minute and just to ask you, how is your relationship to money? That felt like turn to the right. But this goes together. How is your relationship to money? Because your relationship to money has something to do with the roles you are playing. Zig Ziglar said, money isn't the most important thing in life, but it's reasonably close to oxygen on the gotta have it scale. You may be playing the role of somebody who just, oh, money's not important to me. Oh, I don't need money. And you know my saying, if you don't think money's important to you, money doesn't think you're important to it. And so you both go your own ways. So are there roles you play that cause you to limit the prosperity in your life? Because, as William Shakespeare said, there is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. The role you play it's acting. It's just acting, but you can act it out in your head, think it, and therefore it is so. Because the universe is only listening to what you're telling it. You're saying, I'm a depressed, angry guy. The universe is like, okay, well, here's some things to get depressed about, and here's some things to get angry over. That's how it works. It's all about your mind. So, who are you? And what are you thinking? Because basically, who you know yourself to be sets the stage. We'll stay in this medium, sets the stage for how your life unfolds. So here's another question. Where is there drama in your life? Drama is nothing more than energy. And dramatic energy, drama energy, that dark cloud over the head energy, it literally stops you from experiencing prosperity. So here's an idea. Are you available for prosperity to show up in your life? It's called On a Veil. I remember the first time I was put on a veil by a commercial. And my agent called me and said, well, you're on a veil. And I'm like, okay, what is that? I was very young. And he said, well, it means they didn't offer you the job, but they want to know you're available to take it. And I was like, oh my God, of course I'm available to take it. And that was my first commercial, which was for, oh my God, what's that soda? Oh my God, I forgot. It'll come to me in a minute. But I was on a veil, and then I moved from on a veil to Dr. Pepper, to being an early Dr. Pepper boy. So here's a question for you. Are you on a veil? Are you available? Are you literally available to take your good? So if you don't like the role you're playing in life, turn it down and start playing another one. Tell it you're not on a veil. You're not available to play the victim anymore. You're not available to play the angry loser anymore. You're not available to play the person that has no money anymore. You're just not available. It's imperative that we remember we are always a choice. No, I'm not playing that role anymore. That's what that cartoon guy is saying. So today, I want you to start noticing what roles you are currently playing and use your trained mind to ask the important questions, such as these. Does this role serve the real me? And remember, it's the real me in 2023. Does this role make me happy? It's surprising, it's amazing, and always such a curious thing to me when I realize I've been playing a role that's not made me happy. So what's the point? And do I want to play a different role? Yeah, I want to play the lead role, the starring role, the guy that gets the girl in the end, or gets the boy in the end, or gets them both in the end. In the play of life, who am I? Who have I decided I am? And is it serving me? And then, by the way, make sure you include money as part of the new role, like these two movie stars. I don't think they're movie stars. I think they're actors playing movie stars. But if they took this program, they could turn that into acting careers, I'd say. So make sure you include money in the roles you play. When you decide to play a role, make sure it's a role that's lucrative. Take the job that fills you from the inside out. 48 hours today and tomorrow. Time to get rich. Are you ready? I am. So take a deep breath and we'll know this out into the world. Okay, today you're going to look at the roles you play. Make sure they're serving you. Because you can be anything you want to be. That's the richness of your life. You're a choice to be who you want to be, to live as you wish to live, to experience all the greatness that is yours to experience because of who you are. So keep asking yourself, who am I? Who am I? And then decide from knowing who you are, what roles you want to play. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, everyone. And I will see you tomorrow morning for our finale, our grand conclusion. Namaste.